Okay, now that we have all of our keyframes done, we got nice smooth motion for each of our images. I'd like to talk a little bit about transitions. These are the borders in between two images, and there are some preset effects, if we click on the Effects tab here, that we can go and look for. So here under Video Transitions, I'm going to show you the default. It's in blue here. This is the cross dissolve, and when I'm going to be working with transitions, I always like to zoom in. You really should be able to see all four of your images so that you can easily see where the border between two images are. Now you can take these and drag them and drop them. Notice this is right in the center. It's centered at the cut, and that's really what we want. And if I drag forward here, you can see that nice smooth dissolve. So the cross dissolve is a good one to use. There are a whole lot more. Now what I want you to do with these is when you've got the transition in there, go ahead and push the keyframe over as far as it'll go on both sides of that. And that will keep the image keyframed in motion during the cross dissolve. So it never really comes to a stop. It's going the whole time. So right here, we're going to add a different one. These, such as dip to black, are not to be used. Dip to white also. The reason is that we don't want anything except our image pixels on the screen. Let me show you with this flip over. This is a pretty good example of how it would introduce a whole lot of gray into the picture. Now I don't know why that's not working. There we go. So this is not very pretty. Even though we can select the transition and change things like what color it is, it's really not going to have the picture on the screen the whole time. So don't use that. Don't use dip to black, because then it just goes to black, and that's not very interesting either. And there are a few others like that. The page peel especially, it may look pretty cool, but that's a bunch of gray on there. I just don't care much for that for this particular project. If I was doing book reviews or something, I could definitely see a place for it. But if you don't have time to really do very much of this, if you just have to get caught up, then just drag cross dissolve onto each of them, take the keyframes and move them over. Notice I'm selecting them and then pushing them over. Same thing here. So that the movement is happening while the transition is taking place. Nice smooth motion there. You don't have to have a bunch of different transitions. If you want to experiment with them, that's fine. Just keep image pixels on the whole time, and don't put them at the very end or at the very beginning. We're going to have text boxes that are going to be introducing each of our different categories in the credits. So we're only going to use these transitions right now in between pictures. So that's 3 per category in most cases. And again, this is the quick and easy way. You can just put cross dissolve on each one of these. Nothing fancy. Select the picture and push the keyframe. Select the picture. That one's already over. I'm running a little slow here. I don't think I'm seeing everything I need to. Maybe I already pushed those over in an earlier attempt to make this. This is what you're looking for. Nice, smooth transitions that go from one picture to the next.